Welcome, everyone, and welcome to Allianz Joy. This is a joyful time of the year, so I appreciate it if you're watching today and if you're tuning in on Roku, Amazon, Apple TV. We are here with Allianz Joy. This is a joyful show. I want to make you laugh. I want to bring you good tips and information. I have amazing guests on, and I am so grateful to have a super duper hero guest today. I just love her. She is my friend. I am going to have a conversation today on this show on Win Win Women TV. We're also on Win Win Women TV, so I hope you're watching today. We have Shante Kinney on here today, and Shante is a friend, and she is an amazing, amazing host herself of Next Level podcast, and also she is the creator of Next Level magazine. She has many other talents. She helps women through personal coaching, physical fitness as a fitness coach, with nutrition, with workshops, with retreats, podcasts. Like I said, Next Level is a great show as well. And of course, a lot of videos that she shares. She shares her life. She shares her past. She shares her journey. She shares her information. And I'm so glad to have you on today. Welcome, welcome from that beautiful, amazing business environment that you are in today. I know it's a crazy time of the year and we are busy. You just walked out of another event. You look gorgeous. And I'm just glad you made time to be on my show. So thank you, Shante, for being here today. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you
Tell me a
so
little bit
much.
about, well, first I want to just start with a crazy question. Who are you? Tell me a little bit about your happy self. I always do this thing like, who are you? Which is not like, what do you do? But who are you? Joyful, happy, and tell me a little bit about yourself, your personality.
That's very interesting. First of all, thank you so much for having me. And I am honored to be a guest on today because today is just a beautiful day.
It is a
As
beautiful day.
you were describing me, and I was like, dang, who is that girl she's talking about? Is that me?
Yeah,
Because
it's you.
it's so hard to talk for me. It's so hard to talk about myself. But I am just a person that is endowed with hope, love, and joy. You know, those are when you ask me who am I, everything else is just what I do. Who am I? I'm a woman, of course. I'm a friend. I'm a daughter. I'm a lover of life. I'm a giver. I'm a builder. I'm a motivator. I'm an inspiration. I'm sunlight. I'm joy, and I'm love. That's who I am.
I love that. So it's not so difficult. You came up with amazing things. You came up with a lot of things that are your strength, which I love so much. Your personality, your skills, the things that you work with to help others. And you are on a journey to unlock your full power so you can help others, right? So it's seeing past the boundaries, seeing past the limitations or limiting beliefs, things like that. I talk about it all the time because you're kind of like me. We're just the same. We're just both fitness gurus. We both love exercise. It's our first place to go to when we are stressed out or feel anxious, when we are going through things. And so that is one of your first things, to help people get healthy and well, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Tell me a little bit about, this is what I love watching your shows and what information you gave me. One of the things that really struck me was that you were talking about somebody approaching you and saying, what is your tragedy? When we're talking about your tragedy, about your pain that really inspired you to become your best self, will you give us a little bit about that?
Yes, someone did. I was at a book signing event, and he just walked up to me. He was like, "So, what's your tragedy?" And as I sat there and I thought about it, I thought that it would be that I was sexually abused when I was a kid, or that my husband of 20 years walked out on me, and I had a rough childhood. But as I was sitting there and I really thought about it, I said my sad tragedy was I lost my identity. Life had just been happening, and it started happening at a very young age, unfortunately but gratefully at the same time. And I lost who I was. I lost what Shante sounded like, what Shante liked, finding out who Shante was. I didn't know who I was. I grew up in my marriage, and I went from my mom's, from my household, from where I grew up, into my marriage. into the workplace. So my personality was created based upon whatever role I was playing and who needed me and what they needed from me. And it was never solidified for me. I never took the time to figure out what Shantae liked, what Shantae wanted, what Shantae's thoughts were, what Shantae believed, and who Shantae was. So I had a lost identity. I lived with a very lost identity for almost 25 years. And part of my journey has been, and the greatest gift in exploration. I tell everybody, life every day is a treasure hunt. It's just a gift because I get to step into it every day and find something new about myself, unlock something about myself that I didn't know. And I'm enjoying it. And I thank God for the opportunity. I thank God that I didn't die before I had an opportunity to meet me. And as you said, I'm on this journey to be my greatest self. I want to fully know who I am and what I can do, what I'm capable of. I know I got all of this stuff locked up inside of me, but it's one of the most beautiful things. It's a treasure every day to find out something new. We're like, oh my God, girl.
I love
tell
that.
myself that all the time. I mean, like, you did that. You are awesome. So yeah, I've just been on a journey to reclaim my identity, find out who I am.
I love that so much. Oh, I love that so much. And especially because I think a lot of women go through that. And you call that, and very rightfully so, I love that too, our life is a chameleon, right? First, we are just adjusting to our upbringing and our environment, and we just do what our parents tell us to, and we just go into this next level with the people that are influencing us, and we try to fit in, and we try to do all the things that are expected from us. And I see so many women that you and me both help that are just in that time of their life, when you're coming in your 40s, 50s, midlife, when you are thinking, wow, who am I? What am I? What am I doing? What am I supposed to do here? What is my purpose? What is my why? I love that you said that every day, it's not every day is a gift. Every day is also just like a big explore more, right? Just like, what are we doing today? And who is this coming out of me? I love that. So you're helping people a lot, and you're also helping yourself every day. When I followed you with this challenge of getting up every day and going to the gym and just doing it. Tell me a little bit about what happened. You just really, bad weather, good weather, you're doing it. And I love that commitment to yourself. I love that.
Well,
We all do it.
for a very long time in my life, I lived an unhealthy life, and no balance. And when I say that, and when I say unhealthy, I'm not talking about just physically healthy. I was mentally, emotionally, spiritually unhealthy. There was no life balance. And so everything was out of whack. When you get out of balance, every aspect of your life and the life of the people around you becomes unbalanced. And I looked around in my life, and everybody was nobody had balance. And all of us were just, going over here or going over there, or just falling completely. And I made the commitment to get healthy mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually. I made that commitment back in 2016. And now I just continue every day in that commitment. It wasn't just a one moment thing. I've lost over almost about 75 pounds, and I've just gotten myself into a healthy place. And so my life is balanced, and working out helps me maintain that balance. But it's not just working out, it's learning to be consistent. And when I'm consistent in one area, it disciplines me to be consistent in other areas. And so the way that this challenge actually started, I have a whole lot of girlfriends who started the journey with me of getting healthy. And it's just like everything else in life. Everybody's all okay.
Yeah.
But the keeping it going is always the problem.
Yeah.
And for years, I had a problem with accountability. I couldn't be accountable to myself. I considered myself to not be a finisher. That That's how I saw myself. That was part of my misidentity. And so when I started this journey, I was going to learn how to be consistent and learn how to be a finisher. I was going to become a finisher. I was going to finish anything that I started. And I had a lot of girlfriends who joined in. Yeah, we're going to get healthy with you. We're going to all lose weight. We had groups and stuff. And then one by one, everybody just began to fall off, fall off, fall off. But
Yeah.
I was committed. I was committed to change. And I was intentional, because I had started working on not just the physical, but all the other areas in my life and the things that were causing me to be unhealthy and to stop me from being consistent and finished. So I was doing full work, and they were just dropping off one by one, one by one. And I didn't know how to be consistent because nobody in my life was consistent. That was not lived out before me. So God had to teach me how to be consistent. So back in 2016, every day for an entire year, with attaching no outcome, no results or anything to it, I went to the gym every day, or I got up and I did some form of exercise every single day, so that I could learn how to be consistent. And I became accountable to myself. And I have just continued in that. I don't go every day now because it's not, I've learned the balance of it, but I've learned how to, I've taught myself how to be committed to me and how to be accountable to me. And I taught myself how to be consistent and dedicated to myself. And so I get up and I go to the gym. And so I post not to brag or anything, but to inspire other individuals, not just women. At first it was just women, but I have a lot of men who hit me up, like, just seeing you go to the gym inspires me to go. And so we started this challenge because they're like, okay, we need to go and start going back to the gym. And everybody always says it. I say, well, let's just do 100 workouts. Let's just commit ourselves to 100 workouts. You can do anything. You can go anytime. Just do some form of exercise, because I believe in movement, not just physical movement, mental movement, emotional movement, spiritual movement. Create movement. That's my thing. Create movement. Absolutely. And in so doing, learn how to become consistent and learn how to become a finisher, because people tell me all the time, I can't finish something. Well, the truth is you actually can, because all of us are consistent in things, even though we want to believe that we're not. We're consistent in our bad habits. We are faithful to our bad habits. We are faithful to we're faithful to running, going shopping. We are consistent in these things. We just have to become intentionally consistent about the things that are going to bring us more, make us healthier, and give us more joy and peace in our life. So that's how this got about. And I'm not even doing it for me, because I can go to the gym every day. I'm like, and everybody's falling off on me again. They all started, and now they're dropping one by one, one by one. I'm like, okay, well, but I made a commitment. And even if God tells me this all the time, even if it's just you by yourself, you stay committed to the word that you said. Yeah. So your commitment is not about anybody else. It's about you, Shantae. Who are you when nobody else is watching? Be committed to yourself and the things that you tell yourself you're going to do. Yep. And you can't slack in one area, because then you'll start slacking in other areas, and then you become off balance again. So as much as you can, commit to yourself and be faithful to the commitments that you make to yourself.
So. I loved it so much. You are so right, because that commitment, accountability is the first thing that you and me are telling others or helping others with, right? As a coach, it's one of the things where I'm your buddy. I just want to make sure that I do this with you. And if you are coming back to me next week, that you told me that you actually did it, right? It's that whole promise to self. And it's so true that we are falling off that when it comes to the good things, but we are definitely not falling off our bad habits, right? We're just very consistent with that. We like to do that. We are very, very, very addicted to our excuses. Right? Always there. I mean, I can make up a million. Just did. I just while you were on my Facebook every day, popping up in the gym, I was making this excuse of, well, and me, Miss Fitness here also, right? always about fitness, but I was like, nah, it's November. I should eat a little bit more sugar and getting those cookies. And who starts baking in November and December? Eliane here. So, that is just one of these excuses that I make up that are making no sense whatsoever. So I'm in it with you, girl. On the 1st of January, here I go. Maybe tomorrow I should make that commitment. But it's all about that promise to self and all about that balance. I think balance definitely exercise helps us with that stress, helps us with that
Mhm,
mental mindset, right?
mhm,
Helps us with being more up, right? Because here
mhm,
we are releasing those happy hormones that I always talk
mhm.
about. So that definitely helps. I am very intrigued by the 4 pillars also that you're talking about a lot. Tell me about your 4 pillars that are so important.
The 4 pillars, it's just something that I kind of live my life by. And I, again, I base everything on trying to keep my word to myself: awareness, intentionality, consistency, and mindfulness. Because I think in every area, and it's a challenge. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
it's a challenge. You have to, you have to examine yourself all the time. You can't just, okay, well, I'm fully in it today and then I'm just not going to be in it tomorrow.
Yeah.
It takes work, and it takes you constantly self-checking
Yeah.
and talking with yourself and checking in with others, and again, being accountable. But I believe awareness, you got to know where you are at all times and have a vision for where you're going. It's essential. So I ask myself, and I always ask other people, okay, let's be honest about where you are at this exact moment. Let's assess that. And then where do you want to go? Who do you want to be? Because I always see a bridge. The person that you are and the person that you want to be. And there's a big gap in between.
Yeah.
So how do I cross the bridge? How do I fill the gap? How do I make it to what's next? Awareness, accountability, intentionality, consistency, mindfulness, they're going to get you across that bridge. But your where you're going has to be big enough to pull you across, because you're not going to want to show up for yourself every day. You're going to want, there are going to be days when, like you just said, working out in October, November, December is the hardest thing for me, because
You, yeah.
it's like the world just wants to engulf you in this blanket, and you've been going all year long just
Yeah.
in life, period.
Yeah.
And now it's like the world is saying, okay, let's just stop and let's just lay down. We'll deal with everything else in
Yeah.
January. So
Yeah.
let's lay down and let's eat this and let's eat this. And all of that sugar and everything else, it starts messing with your emotions. You go into places of depression. It seems like people are dropping more and more in this period of time. And so you have to be aware of that. You have to be aware of who you are. You have to be aware of your triggers. You have to be aware of the things that affect you, what your body does, how your body responds. But you also got to be mindful. This doesn't get me to where I want to go.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I want that person. And that's what I tell myself all the time. I want her more than I want this right here. So I've learned how to say no, because my why, who it is, where I'm going, is much bigger. And she's enough to call me from one side of the bridge to the next. And so I'm constantly moving towards her voice, not towards the voice of the people behind me. I don't want to go back anymore. I want to go forward. So being aware, asking yourself, where am I right now? Right now, I'm in a hard place. Right now, I'm in a challenging place. Right now, my emotions are all over the place. Well, how are you going to respond to that? Are you just going to lay back in it? Or are you going to reach
And that
for
is a
where you're
choice.
going?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So awareness is very important to me.
Yeah.
And every day I step into the day, I'm taking a check. Okay, Shantae, where are you? And who do you want to be at the end of the day? And what are the things that you need to do to get you there? You have to be intentional about your actions. You have to be intentional about your thoughts. I can't just let my thoughts just fly all over the place. I can't just let anybody speak into my life. I can't touch just anything. I have to be intentional about where I go, who I connect with, what I read, what I eat, what I digest, what I accept and what I reject, because I'm going somewhere. I want to, that's where I want to go. So I have to be intentional about my moves every day. I can't say yes to everything. And I can't say no to everything. I have to be intentional. And then consistency. Consistency is the key that's going to get you. Anyway, you have to be consistent. You have to be intentionally consistent. You can't, like I said, you can't show up one day and not show up for another 5 or 6 months and think you're going to get the goal, because you're not. You have to practice consistency in every area of your life. If you start meditating, then continue in it. You know what I'm saying? So consistency is a major pillar. And the last one is mindful. I believe in being thankful for everything. Yeah. I notice things, I name things, that I'm real big with that. Let's notice this emotion, let's name it, let's notice this thing. But God has filled our lives with so much good and so much beauty. And if the only thing I focus on is the negative, I'm gonna miss everything else in the park. Everything else. And so I'm only going to be going to this limited space right here, when there is this huge world out there. Huge world out there that's just waiting for me. But can I see it? Can I see it? Can I see
it? Willing to be open to see it. Yes. And I think that is one of the things that I see with people a lot, in the consistency, in the repetition. You know, it is just not they're afraid a little bit about the change, right? That sometimes brings on. Sometimes a lot of people are afraid of the good success that comes with it, right? And we also have a tendency of, you're talking about that bridge, I talk about it all the time. This is your dream. This is where you want to go. This is what you want to see. But we want to fill it in immediately. And God doesn't allow us to fill it in immediately. We want instant gratification. We want it the next day. We want everything to shine the next day. Otherwise, forget about it. And that's just not the way it is. The curveballs that we're being thrown, as you talk about so many, as I had so many in the past, that I let those curveballs boycott me and my spirits. And I was just giving up every time there was a curveball, but God threw them actually at me to learn from, right? And to do something with, and to move through, and to move with that pain, or that ugliness, or that disaster, or that tragedy, and the divorce, or whatever it was, just to do something with it, learn from, and do something better with it, right?
That I think is the beauty. That's the beauty. Believe it or not, and me and God talk about this all the time. We have to what's the word that I'm looking for? We have to reframe struggle or hard times. Because as you just said, people want to skip all the middle. I just need to, I want that instant gratification. But doing that, this is what I've learned. In doing that, you miss the best part, because it's in those struggles, it's in those hard times, in those dark moments, that you get to find out who you are and what you're made of. If you don't quit and just decide to go back, this is just too much, I'm not going to do this. If you don't quit, you get to unlock secrets about yourself. You get to unlock secrets about life, about God. You get to learn wisdom, and you get to learn knowledge, things that no amount of money you would never give up for not $1 in the world. But that's the beauty. You get all the fun stuff is in the middle, which is what everybody wants to skip, because we make hard times look so bad and sound so bad, as opposed to experiencing hard times as, you know what, it's hard, but there's some good in this, and I'm learning some stuff, or it's feeling uncomfortable right now. But if I look back over my life and all the other hard things that I've done, I begin to realize that, hard really works for me. It really works for me. It's made me actually who I am. I have character, I have integrity because I had hard times. So if
Mm.
we can learn to reframe suffering, because don't get me wrong, we're all suffering from something. There is something in life affecting all of us. My life is, I mean, if I could tell you about some of the stuff that's going on in my life right now, I don't see it and I don't experience it. I'm intentional about not experiencing it as, oh, whoa, it's just bad.
Yeah.
It's just bad. I used to be that person. I
Mm-hmm.
used to be the person who every time something happened, I would just go down and down
Oh,
and
same
down
here.
because
Yeah.
I'm like, man, it's
Yeah.
just never
Very.
gonna stop. But now, and I've had this conversation with about 5 people over the last 6 weeks. Now I understand that God creates situations to give us a revelation. And so now I say, okay, I got a situation going on that I did not place myself in. All the things that's happening, I ain't have nothing to do with this, but I'm here. So what is it, God, that you want me to get out of this moment?
Yeah.
And I want to get the lesson that I need to get, because I don't want to experience this one right here again.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
okay not
Yeah.
going through what I need to go through to learn this lesson. So
Mm-hmm.
let me get the wisdom. Let me get the growth now. Help me to see it so we don't have to do this again.
Yeah.
I just want you to know I don't want to do this again. So I'm willing to stay in it so I can learn it. A lot of people recycle their same problems, their same emotions, their
Yeah.
same situations,
Yeah.
because they don't want to learn from it. They want to get out of it, or they want to turn to the thing that makes you comfortable to
Comfort
over.
zone. Yeah.
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 And so you don't get the growth.
Yeah.
And so you have to redo this relationship again. You have to redo this as the children. I'm a big, I love God, so I'm always in the Bible. You have to go around this mountain again. You have to stay in this wilderness again because you didn't get it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I started realizing, yeah, I want to get it. Help
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
get it, because I don't
Yeah.
want to do
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
I'm
it's
all for new problems. Don't
yeah.
give me old. Don't. I don't want to recycle old problems.
Yeah. We don't
You
want to be
know,
there anymore. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Mm-hmm. And that is so beautiful about you because you're seeing opportunity instead of obstacles,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if we don't want to be there anymore, let's not recreate it. Let's have that mindset of what did we learn from it. Let's be open. The thing that people always tell me, yeah, but change and I don't know. And so the fear is there, and the word change sometimes has a negative impact. I said change is not at all negative. It doesn't mean that you have to change your personality. It means that you grow into even more personality, more being yourself, more being your individuals, seeing your strength through it. So I love that you bring the mountain in. It's very much so that we cannot miss out on that opportunity of what God wants to do with us, right? Where's your why going over in 2024? What in the world are you gonna do? What is waiting for us? Shanta has a lot on her plate. She's gonna make this an amazing year. What's going on in 24?
I do. I do. I have a lot going on, but it doesn't seem like it in my opinion. But people tell
Tell
me
me
all
a
the time.
little bit about Next Level Magazine, the show, and what are you going to do next year with it?
Next level conversations. We share stories. What I've started to say is I go collect witnesses. I collect victors. I collect people who have done, ordinary people who have done amazing things. And I like sharing their stories because I like sharing their hope, you know. So that's what we do. We share stories about different topics that affect our life. But more than anything, we provide simple, practical tools that everyday people that you can use to implement in your life to take your life from where it is to where you want to go. It's simple, practical things. And so I like talking with people and learning, well, what did you do? Well, what I did was I stopped saying can't. I
Mm-hmm. Yep.
disciplined myself to stop saying can't.
Yep.
Those practical things, and people because you see people's lives and you're like, wow, she is just, and she's done. Look, it was just an everyday thing, and these are the simple things that I implemented in my life. Consistency, and this is what it looked like. So we share those type of stories. In 2024, we are working to expand our reach, expand our expand our topics, our affiliations. I'm really excited. We set up quite a few shows. Actually, at the beginning of January, it's all about mental awareness. So we're partnering with some different foundations and different things. So so 2024 for Next Level Conversation is going to be more about stretching ourselves.
Yes.
We've done some things that I didn't even think possible. We had a live audience, so we're going to be doing more live audiences, and I'm really excited about that.
I love
and the same thing goes with Next Level Magazine. We're just growing. I'm excited about seeing what else it can do.
It's possible.
What else I can do. I'm going to, the goal, well, not the goal, the instructions have been going to be releasing 4 books in 2024, some books that have been that have been in the works for a while. And so those are in work. I had a documentary done, so we have a documentary that's coming out. Another lady wrote a book about me, so that's going to be released, and it's just stepping into. I'm just excited about learning every day, seeing what else is going to happen.
It's possible, yes. Yeah. With you, everything is possible. I am so excited for you. I love the live show. I love the fact that you have the audience there. That's a great thing. I mean, in a live studio, that's great. Next Level Magazine, beautiful, beautiful. Lots of work. And 4 books. Oh my gosh, that is so much. Girlfriend, that's a lot. And
it's fun. I got nothing else to do.
I can't wait. You don't have anything to do, 24 hours going for it. And that's the beautiful thing. You have so much energy and your mind is set and you got the willpower, you got the courage to go into it. Courage is one of my power words. I love that word so much. We have to have that courage to dive into that crazy unknown and see it as an amazing opportunity to learn from and to do something with. Do something with for others. Your why is helping others with your story, all the stories that you are telling with other people. That's what you just said as well on stage and on the show and in the magazine, telling people stories and helping others with that. What does your dream look like for the future? Where are you going with all this? When are you going to stop? Are you ever going to stop? No, you're not going to stop.
Well, the beauty is I truly believe this. We keep reaching. We keep reaching and we keep reaching. I tell people all the time, keep moving. And because there's a place that God has for me. There's a place that God has for you. He has for all of us. And you've reached that place when you've taken your last breath on this side, and then you're going into the fullness on the other side. So, keep, as long as you got breath in your body, we're just going to keep going. And I have the capability. I give God grace. I'm just going to keep going. What else you got for me? Let's go and let's do it. I am it's a twofold goal. I look to be in the next 10 years a syndicated show with our own network. Next Level, doing movies and shows, a full production, and a full publishing company. Because, like I said, I love sharing people's story, and I want people to be able to put their stories in print so that their words and their lives live on. And people who just don't even think that they can tell their stories and stuff like that, when they come on my show or when they come onto the podcast, I take all of that and I publish it. But I'm creating a book called Fight Girl. And so we're going to have different versions of Fight Girl stories of victorious women, and making them authors and putting their stories in print such that their words live on well past when they're gone. So I want their sound to stay in the earth past them. And so that's our vision, and all the things that is encompassed in that.
That's where we're going. Words and books, yes. It's still big time, because stories, words, books, to put it down, it's forever. It stays there, right? And it's legacy. So you're creating a beautiful legacy there. I just love you so much. I love everything you do.
Thank you.
I'm a follower. I'm a fan. I'm going to be on your tail. We're close to each other. Got to go out soon. celebrate the new year. Tell me where our audience can find you, and what is the easiest way to find you and communicate and watch you do all this amazing stuff.
The easiest way to connect with me, my central hub to get to everything that I do, is through my website, www.shantakenny.com. And from there, you can connect with my show, my nonprofits, everything, the books, different interviews,
And social media,
yeah, everything. So that's what I tell everybody. I work to make that, just if you click that, you can get to everything else. Instead of trying to send people here, send people there, just click that and you'll get me.
Right.
I'm just all around. Of course, I'm on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Haven't really quite mastered LinkedIn. I'm over there on YouTube. I'm learning more about YouTube, teaching myself that. But yeah, if you go to my website, you can connect with me.
www.shantakenny.com. I love it. I have seen it. It's a beautiful website. Everything is on there. It's a lot of things that you can find out about you. We're going to wrap it up soon. What is the last crazy thing that you want to share what do you want to share for 2024 with our audience?
Ooh, I'm gonna share with y'all what I'm taking into 2024. And it's the word is now. Now is the time. Now. And understanding that. And when God gave it to me, I was like, okay, well, what exactly are you talking about? And he's like, the God that can do anything is the same God that can do all things. The same God, anything is the same God that can do all things. So now I'm moving into all things. So now is the time. Anything that you can imagine, anything that you can dream, anything that's been in your spirit, anything that will not let you go, now is the time. Everybody's always looking for, okay, when's the time? Now.
No.
The time.
No. Yes.
Now.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So
yeah. I agree with you so much. Now is the time to do it. Don't wait. Don't wait for somebody, anybody.
Now is it.
Do it now. You is now. Yes. You are the one that has the willpower to do it now. Thank you so much, my dear friend, for being on today. Thank you for being on this show. We're going to find you at www.shantakenny.com. Find everything, follow her, do what she does. It's amazing. You're an amazing guest. Thank you so much. You are my superhero today. And going forward, I'm going to do it now. You're going to do it now.
I just want to I wanted to shout out to Lauren, who was on. She's logged off now, but Lauren, who was on in the guest, she threw some comments in there. So I just wanted to shout out to her. So that's cool.
Oh, I know. Where did Lauren go? Our audience. We're gonna chat.
Yeah, she. I just know that she logged off, but I just wanted to say hi to her. I should have said it earlier. Anyway, so there you have it.
We'll definitely make sure that she gets the word. And thank you so much for being my amazing.
Thank you.
I wish you a wonderful rest of the holiday season. I'm going to log off. I'll see you next week on Allianz Joy. And keep watching. I am very grateful you were watching us today. You can find me in my show. You can find the show today or replay on my YouTube channel, Elian Haan, and on my Facebook, of course, and on my other social media sites. So I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.